I'm Julie Herman of Jaybird Quilts, and today I would like to introduce you to my latest product, the Jaybird Quilts Fussy Cut Shapes. Jaybird Quilts Fussy Cut Shapes are designed to make fussy cutting easy. Each shape has a 1/4 inch gray edge to define the seam allowance. This enables you to focus on the interior space of the shape and know exactly what will appear in the finished shape. Each shape has blunted points for easy piecing alignment. Downloadable PDF instructions are available now. The link to access them is in the video description below. Let's learn more about the half triangles. The half triangle shapes from the Jaybird Quilts Fussy Cut set can be used in these patterns: Alphabet Soup, Mini Giggles, and Park Bench. The small one is used in Mini Giggles and Alphabet Soup, while the large one is used in Alphabet Soup and Park Bench. In addition to these shapes being used for fussy cutting within some patterns, they're also frequently used in the background of Alphabet Soup. By having the fussy cut set, you can use these pieces to easily cut from your scraps instead of being limited to just cutting from strips. Half triangles are an essential building block, especially when working with Alphabet Soup. Included in the fussy cut set is a large, which is 4.5 inches, and a small, which is 2.5 inches. They each have 1/4 inch gray area, which is the seam allowance, so that inside of the area is exactly what you'll get when you cut. So I wanted that little cola can, wanted this little critter. Everything you see inside that is perfectly what you'll get. So let's cut out a few examples. So here I have a raccoon that almost perfectly fits. I'm either going to lose a little bit of his foot or a little bit of his tail. Now, if I did it this way, I'd have more bias, and that's okay. But I think I'm going to do it this way, not because of the bias, but because I think his foot is more important than his tail. I want to make sure I don't lose his ear either. This is where the gray area really helps you to hone in on exactly what you're going to see in your finished piece. So I'm going to cut, and I'm right-handed, so if you're left-handed, this will be opposite for you. And I'm simply going to cut as many areas as I feel comfortable without cutting towards myself. Rotary cutter safety is very important. And if you have a rotating mat, you can spin it around, or in my case, I just turned the piece. And now this is a little bit of Swiss cheese because I've already been cutting some other things from it. So since I'm close to this edge here, just going to trim so that I can take this excess fabric out of my way a little bit more. I'm going to realign this piece underneath my half triangle and finish cutting my shape. There we go. And now my small half triangle is definitely small, and depending on which direction I need it, I may or may not be able to get anything that is a creature in it. But this is a great opportunity to use up these pieces that you think may not have any other use. So I am going to move this fabric out of the way, and I am going to put my half triangle right there. And I'm going to use this nice little scrap that otherwise would be wasted. Move those scraps out of the way, turn it around, line it back up, and finish cutting out my half triangle. Here's the first two pieces I cut. One thing to note with the half triangle is your pattern will tell you, but you often need rights and lefts. Using them where you can read the words is the right half triangle. Flipping them over to the back will give you the left half triangle. The other option normally is to work from the back of your fabric, but when fussy cutting, it can be very difficult to work from the back. So I suggest just flipping them over. So I'll show you how I'm going to cut some lefts. Again, this is a good opportunity to use this area that might otherwise get wasted. Flip it around, And you'll notice that on these half triangles, you do end up with a blunt corner instead of a sharp corner, and that will help with alignment. So now I have a right and I have a left. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut a left half triangle. So again, right half triangles are cut with the fabric right side up and the ruler right side up. Left, flip it upside down so that you can't read the words. So I'm gonna center, I'm gonna put this guy, and it looks like if I'm real careful, I can get all the way from there to there and I don't have to lose any little part of his ears or his little feet or his behind. So again, cut and cut. Now I'm going to turn this around. I'll line this back up on those first two edges that I cut and cut the remainder of the shape. So I now have a right and a left large half triangle. In addition to rights and lefts, orientation matters as well. So to finish this O block, I need two more down here. And if I'd cut them all like this, all of a sudden, this little one's on its head. So pay close attention in your pattern to not only right or left, but where the piece is so that you can make sure that you fussy cut your character as desired. So I'm going to cut my right half triangle for the bottom right of my O block, but it's not oriented this way, it's oriented this way. And I want to get this little character, but I don't want to get this one. I can almost get them together, but not really. So I want to focus on this one, and I want to nestle it down there. And this is where my gray is helpful to make sure that I'm just eliminating that so that I'll just have purple in the rest of my piece. Turn my fabric around, go ahead and line back up on top of my first two cuts. There we go. So by using the half triangle, I was able to create interest not only in the feature part of my O, but in the background as well. And my fabric selection makes sure that you still see the O because the background still reads as purple, even with the fun interest that we got from fussy cutting. The blunt corners help with alignment when going to sew pieces together. There are times that you'll want to sew these together, and if you didn't have the blunt corners, you wouldn't know exactly where along here to place them. But by having the blunt corners, you know exactly where to place your shape. The same holds true if you were sewing this to a half hexagon. By having the blunt corner, you know exactly where to line it up on top of the half hexagon. Thanks so much for tuning in today. If this video was helpful for you, please like it, leave a comment below, and subscribe to this channel. Your support makes a big difference in letting me know what kind of content you enjoy here on my YouTube channel and what types of products and quilt patterns to offer. Join me for my upcoming sew-alongs where I'll guide you through making a fussy cut rock candy table topper and the letters, numbers, and projects from the Alphabet Soup book using these fussy cut shapes. You can sign up for the new sew-alongs at the same link below where you can request the PDF fussy cut shape directions. See you soon!